Today's program is brought to you by pennystockprofessor.com. For all the best OTCBB stock picks, sign up at pennystockprofessor.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano. In today's international news, Shoshana Johnson survived gunshot wounds to both legs and 22 days as a prisoner of war in Iraq. Life wasn't so easy when she came home either. In a new book out this month, the 37-year-old single mother describes mental health problems related to her captivity and tells how it felt to play second fiddle in the media to follow Jessica Lynch, who was captured in the same ambush. Johnson, the nation's first female black prisoner of war, said she felt she was portrayed differently because of her race, either by media outlets that chose not to cover her experience or those who portrayed her as greedy when she challenged the disability rating she was given for her post-traumatic stress disorder. While the story of Lynch, then 19, remains firmly in the nation's collective memory from the 2003 U.S. invasion of Iraq, far less attention has been paid to Johnson and 4 male soldiers from the 507th Maintenance Company from Fort Bliss, Texas, who also survived captivity. Johnson was rescued by Marines about 2 weeks after Lynch's rescue. Months after returning home, Johnson left the military and today is enrolled in culinary school. Johnson's book, I'm Still Standing, is being released in time for Black History Month. The day of the 2003 ambush, Johnson and Lynch were among 33 U.S. soldiers in a convoy that got lost in Nasiriyah en route to Baghdad. Their journey was hampered by broken-down vehicles and malfunctioning equipment. Johnson asked to be medically discharged from the military, in part because she felt other soldiers resented her over the attention her POW status attracted. In 2008, she checked herself into a psychiatric ward for a few days. It was hard at first to admit to having PTSD, she said, because she thought of it as something that happened to Vietnam veterans. After successfully fighting to receive improved disability benefits stemming from her PTSD, she was later asked to serve on the Veterans Affairs Department's panel on minority affairs. Today, Johnson speaks proudly of the other POWs in captivity with her and keeps in touch with them. She said they schedule annual POW exams at the same time in Florida so they can see each other. Contrary to the speculation, Johnson said she was never angry at Lynch or jealous of her. She was her friend before the ambush and they are still friends. Now over to Brandon with international news.
Thanks, Angie. In today's international news, just in time for National Marijuana Week, which is intended to make people aware of the therapeutic benefits of marijuana, comes an app designed to make patients aware of the legal marijuana dispensaries. With the prosaic name Cannabis, the app maps the locations of doctors who prescribe, dispensaries, lawyers, and advocacy organizations in the 14 states where marijuana is legal. If you are not living in a state with legalized marijuana, you will see the location of advocate groups like NORML and lawyers with experience in marijuana law. The database comes from imedicalcannabis.org and the Patient ID Center in Oakland, California. The app was produced for ANJANG, which stands for the Activists Justifying the Natural Agriculture of Ganja, which describes itself as an online site founded as a real-time cannabis connection center. Although it seems to work well enough for me, some people in early iTunes comments said that they found it to be a bit glitchy. The app has a page for cannabis news and a link to the Cannabis Wiki page, but the main attraction is the location feature. Destinations that are close by are served up with a map and directions. Results for distant cities show a list, not a map. And now to Angie with today's health news.
Ever wish you had sonic hearing? Well, now you can with the amazing Silver Sonic XL from Bell & Howell. Now you can easily hear sounds that other people can't, and even hear conversations from clear across the room.
John is a really nice guy.
Yeah, he is. I hope he's enjoying his surprise party.
The sleek, ergonomically designed Silver Sonic XL is lightweight and small, just like a cell phone ear adapter. Its flexible ear mount easily adjusts to fit all ear shapes and sizes, and the molded ear tip lets it fit you comfortably. And because it resembles a cell phone ear adapter, no one will ever know that you have sonic hearing. Now you can sit in the balcony and hear the orchestra like you're sitting in the front row. Keep track of your kids while they play in the park, and even hear the doorbell when you're working in the backyard. You'll be amazed at how clear and vibrant every sound is. The Bell & Howell Silver Sonic XL picks up and amplifies sounds from up to 30 yards away. You can watch TV without turning up the volume, and even watch in bed without disturbing others. Your Bell & Howell Silver Sonic XL amplifies sounds up to 50 decibels. There's a high and low switch to vary the sound intensity, and a volume control so you can set just the level you want. With the Silver Sonic XL, you might even hear things that may pleasantly surprise you.
Her body is amazing. I wish I could look like that.
Similar products are being sold elsewhere for $40 or more, but through this exclusive TV-only offer, the Bell & Howell Silversonic XL is yours for only $19.95. And just listen to this. When you call, be sure to ask about our deluxe model upgrade that's fully rechargeable and comes with its own charger, so you'll never have to buy another battery again. Get Silversonic XL now and start hearing things you've never heard before. Call now.
To order your Silversonic XL, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-230-7100 or send $19.95 plus shipping and handling to Silversonic XL, P.O. Box 3700, Palm Desert, California. But for quicker service, call 1-800-230-7100.
In today's health news, a mumps outbreak among Orthodox Jews in New York and New Jersey has now surpassed 1,500 cases and shows no sign of ending soon. The 7-month-old breakout began last summer at a boys' camp in the Catskills. The campers were from Orthodox Jewish families, and cases multiplied when they returned to their close-knit communities in and around New York City. The mumps vaccine is 79 to 95% effective if 2 doses are given, so illnesses will still occur in vaccinated people when the virus spreads. With 1,500 cases, the mumps outbreak is the largest in the U.S. since 2006, when nearly 6,600 cases were reported, mostly in 6 Midwestern states. Usually fewer than 300 cases are reported annually. Mumps is spread by coughing and sneezing. Common symptoms are fever, headache, and swollen glands. Most cases are in children and teens. It is a mild disease, but sometimes can lead to complications such as hearing loss, meningitis, and swollen testicles, and in rare cases can lead to sterility. In the new outbreak, the first identified case was an 11-year-old boy who got sick in late June. He had just returned from the United Kingdom before going to the camp in Sullivan County in upstate New York. About 25 campers got sick. Since then, hundreds of cases have been diagnosed in Orthodox Jewish enclaves in the New York City borough of Brooklyn, in nearby Orange and Rockland counties, and in 4 counties in New Jersey. Orthodox Jews account for more than 97% of the cases, which is most likely to do with the nature of their community. Many Orthodox Jewish families are large, and the virus spreads well in packed households. Seating arrangements in religious schools may also be contributing, with students facing each other across tables instead of in rows of desks facing forward. Since 1989, health officials have recommended that children get 2 doses of a combination vaccine against measles, mumps, and rubella. Among 1,000 from the new outbreak, the CDC said 88% had gotten at least 1 vaccine dose, 75% had 2 doses. Health officials last month began offering a 3rd dose in some schools where the outbreak has persisted. So far, cases are continuing. And now over to Brandon for some green news.
Thanks once again, Angie. And now for today's green news. The northern Atlantic right whale is one of the rarest in the ocean. It was thought that overhunting during the 16th and 17th century was the cause, with overzealous whalers cutting numbers down so far that they weren't able to recover. Today, there are only around 350 of the whales left, but a new study of an ancient right whale bone found among bones pulled from a 16th century Basque whaling galleon and those found on the shores of Quebec and Labrador near Basque whaling station sites shows that it wasn't overhunting, but a historically low number of species members and a lack of genetic diversity that has kept the population so small. Bones from the whales were found with a 16th century Basque whaling ship discovered in 1978. After being excavated, the BBC reports that Dr. Moria Brown, now at the New England Aquarium in Boston, realized that extracting DNA from the bones could reveal information about the right whale populations over the last several hundred years. Along with Dr. Brenna McLeod and several other colleagues, the researchers pulled DNA from 218 whale bones recovered from the whaling ships and the shores of Quebec and Labrador near old Basque whaling stations. Only 1 was found from a North Atlantic right whale, and the rest were from bowhead whales. Looking at DNA from 27 different parts of the single right whale bone, the researchers found that there were few genetic variations in that 400-year-old bone compared to today's right whale. If a large portion of the species had been lost, there would have been a large number of genetic variations. Instead of overhunting, the scientists think that perhaps historic climate changes are to blame, such as glaciation events that could have forced the whales to change habitats and therefore food sources and calving grounds. The North Atlantic right whale is still at dangerously low populations, and ship strikes, run-ins with nets, pollution, and other factors are not helping the species to maintain its numbers. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to another TBC Daily News Update. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.